And that's blocked by Turner. Shot clock down to 4. Halliburton a deep 3, and he drills it. Arians finds Warren. Here's a long 3. Was in, now Duarte, another 3.
And welcome back to another episode of the Pacing Forward podcast. We are on episode 14. I'm your host, Dom, and we are joined here with my co-host.
What's up, guys? It's the house that Cammy built, Cammy on Twitter. I decided to let Dom do the intro.
And also today, I'm doing the intro, sir. Please hold on. Right. And we're also joined here today by two guests, kind of unorthodox for us to have two guests. Well, we figured since it's the off season, we'd spice it up a little bit. We have from Toronto itself.
From Toronto.
I'm not from Toronto.
I can't do this. He's from Manitoba. Get it right.
Oh, from Toronto. Dog, I swear to God, we went through this before the recording. This man is not from Toronto.
He's not from Toronto.
It doesn't matter. Just say it. Go ahead.
He's from Montreal.
Jew. From Montreal, got Jew, aka Curry Piston on Twitter.
Yes, he said it.
And from New York itself, born and raised, we have
Queens get the money.
Hi, I'm Chris. Also known as loIjets on Twitter.
He's been on the podcast before. He was here as a Heat fan. Now he's on as a Knicks fan.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Tells you a little bit about his morals. Anyway,
okay.
What are we talking about?
Went over this before. Do I need to get Dylan back here to fucking play this shit again?
Okay.
This man is speaking about morals right before the podcast. He's over here supporting Derrick Rose, by the way.
Wait, chill. What are we doing today, guys? What are we talking about?
All right.
DeAndre Ayton back to the Suns.
We're talking about the off-season, fellas. Just everything that's been happening so
the
far.
The off-season, summer league, trade signings, whatever. We gonna start from the top with the biggest news the Indiana Pacers have been in the past couple weeks. Actually, probably like a month or two now. DeAndre Ayton has been on the Pacers' radar.
Offer sheet.
What?
Got thrown the biggest offer sheet in the history of the NBA.
Yeah, DeAndre Ayton, restricted free agent, was on the Pacers' radar ever since the season ended. And I believe, when did we give him the offer sheet?
It was July 14th.
Yeah, July 14th, so 5 days ago. So that would make it, gonna check the calendar. That would make it last Thursday. We offered DeAndre Ayton a max contract. It was, I believe, 4 years and $133 million. I believe, right?
Yeah, 4 years, 133.
Yeah, 4 years.
133.
133.
Yeah.
The Suns mashed it within 3 minutes of getting the deal.
3 minutes of the contract being signed. You know, before when Woj and Shams were putting out the tweets and everybody was like, they're not going to match his contract. He don't even want to be there. You know, they don't want him there. They wanted to trade him for, in a Kevin Durant deal where he goes to Brooklyn or something, or Indiana. So it came off as a pretty big surprise when, Phoenix matched mere, 3-5 minutes into the offer sheet being signed. But, what I like about this signing is that it shows that we're not afraid to spend. And that's what I love about this new Pacers direction. Back in the past 2019, 2020, we were afraid to pay for free agents because number one, nobody wanted to come to Indiana, and number two, we had a really stingy front office and people working behind the desk. Of course, our owner, the owner of the Indiana Pacers, Herb Simon, is a business tycoon. Of course, he's been big on his malls around Indiana. He's very frugal when it comes to spending money on his basketball team, and that's led to people thinking that he should sell the team or saying that he should just let the team go, give it to his son, give it to. A lot of people have been saying Jermaine O'Neal should buy the team, which I wouldn't be mad at. But this has been a new Herb Simon and a new front office ever since the Halliburton trade has been made, which was in February. Ever since then, Indiana has been the complete opposite of what they've been for the past however many years. We traded for Halliburton. We got Jalen Smith back on a 2-year deal. O'Shea Brissett's back. We threw a huge bag to Ayton, even though they matched. I love this direction that we're going in the front office, and I'll let Dom talk about it as well.
I mean, it's kind of great to see the front office actually. I was saying it as soon as the trade came out. I was comparing him to all our different centers back. Or sorry, as soon as the potential signing came out, I was comparing him to all our other centers in like our history, because we've never really there's never really been anybody out of house that we've offered like a big contract to. So it was kind of cool to see us spending money, and it also makes me, losing out on DeAndre Ayton, it kind of sucks, but also taking another year, I don't mind it, and it also makes me happy that the front office actually has some balls on it and they're willing to make the signings that we need for the future. So
yeah, I mean, talking about past free agent signings, I think our biggest signings have been Malcolm Brogdon in 2019. 2019, which was more of a sign and trade, because this is another thing. Herb Simon apparently doesn't like to hurt his fellow team owners, and he decided to make it a sign and trade with Milwaukee, where they get a draft pick, and they get our draft pick from 2020, and we get Brogdon. So that was kind of unfortunate that Herb Simon would decide on a sign and trade, because he doesn't want to. I guess he doesn't want to stifle his owners, which is stupid. A stupid way of thinking, because this is basketball. This isn't friendship. Nobody cares about that. But for that, it was David West and then a bunch of guys in the past that I don't remember. But yeah, I mean, if
similarly to that.
Who was that?
Similar to that, the Malcolm Brogdon deal, he wanted to throw a sign and trade to the Suns for the similarly stingy Robert Sarver for DeAndre Ayton, but the front office was absolutely not having it, thankfully.
Yeah,
and
they weren't going for that. I mean, we were trying to give him Miles, we were trying to give him whatever. But I mean, I would have liked to see Ayton here. I think a pick and roll combination with him and Halliburton. Duarte coming off the picks. Mathurin creating for himself, guys like him and Jalen back together, that dynamic duo at the 4 and the 5. I thought that would have been great, but I'm not completely pissed at it, because it's not the end of the world. Because if we did get Ayton, we would probably be a little bit better, and that would make our pick a bit worse. Now that we don't have Ayton, we're gonna be near that top 2, bottom 2, bottom 3 team in the league, which puts us in position for a very, very good lottery pick, which hopefully we can capitalize on. And hopefully the Indiana Pacers get some luck thrown their way in next year's draft lottery, if next season goes according to plan. And I'm gonna let, before we move on, I'm gonna let Jew talk about a little bit, because Jew is a supporter of the Phoenix Suns. He was very vocal when the Ayton signing and the match came out. So I'm gonna let him talk a little bit.
Yeah, I was very, very happy that the Ayton got matched. I was always very pro Ayton, pro keeping Ayton, feeding him the ball a little more in the role, give him a little more responsibility, etc., etc. I mean, he can definitely do what he does, and with his consistent development of his post game, his defense, his taking responsibility, even him starting to be a little more aggressive, and his jump shot as well, because he's trying to expand out to the 3, which is very nice. And yeah, all of that combined will maybe make the Suns run it back and hopefully at least make it back to the finals and hopefully win.
All right. I mean, I do like the optimism. I think Ayton has really good potential. I mean, he was taken number 1 for a reason, and I think his ceiling is pretty damn high. I would have loved to see him with Tyrese, but I still like Ayton. I'm still gonna support him. He was, I think, my favorite guy on that Suns team that made the finals. Still like him. And I can't wait to see what he does. But it's not the end of the world that we didn't get him. Halliburton's still going to be able to run pick and rolls with Isaiah Jackson, dump it off to Mathurin, Duarte, Jalen Smith, of course. So it's not the end of the world. I'm happy for Ayton that he got the bag. That's in the end, that's what he wanted. So shout out DeAndre Ayton, got the bag. We would have been great to have him in Indiana, but it's not the end of the world. Anyways, what we talk about next, Dom?
And Mathurin in summer league.
About the summer. Yeah, we could talk about Mathurin in the summer. So we got our first glimpse of Benedict Mathurin in the summer league, because obviously summer league is You get to feel out your NBA players and whatnot, and we liked what we saw in what was it, the first 3-4 games.
Yeah, the first 3-4 games, he was. You talk about him. You talk about him. I'm not gonna say nothing.
Well, I don't have his stats or anything. I did watch the first game of Matherin, and it's really cool to see. He's everything that his draft sheet said he was going to be. He's great off ball. He's really bouncy. I think the most memorable thing that I saw from him was the Duarte lob off the backboard to Matherin, and Matherin just fucking gutted it down. Yeah. So that was really cool to see, and it's gonna be cool to see, Tyrese throwing lobs to him and whatnot. And his off ball is great. He's already one of the better rookie shooters I've ever seen. And it's just, it's really cool to see it. And his off ball creation isn't terrible. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, his defense
on ball creation.
Yeah, I mean, his defense is solid. He can create for himself. He's not a bad passer, not a bad playmaker. Pretty athletic, can get to the rim, can shoot the mid-range, shoot the three. Matherin is, I mean, people were talking about we should, when the draft was coming up, people were like, hey, Keegan Murray's going to fall, you should take him. Or Dyson Daniels, you should take Dyson Daniels. Or even like, who else were they saying we should take? AJ Griffin or Jeremy Sokin. Apparently people were saying that. But I think we made the right decision. I mean, Keegan Murray was taken before us, so that's not really anything to talk about. But, Dyson Daniels, I wasn't really feeling it. I wasn't really feeling the selection Daniels. I think he's gonna be good in New Orleans, but I think we made the right pick, and I think if Matherin doesn't fall off a cliff in his rookie season, he can be a sleeper candidate for the Rookie of the Year, which is the second legit chance we've had as a Rookie of the Year, because Duarte was in conversations for that last year. And speaking of summer league, we had all those guys. We had all those guys showing off what they can do. Aaron Neesmith, our acquisition from the Brogdon trade. I really like what he's done so far. He's shown that he can hustle. He can shoot the three. He's athletic. I think he was cast away in Boston as a bit of a throwaway player. He didn't really get to feel his groove out or anything, and he said he had mental problems back then with his jump shot and everything. I think he looks really good now. I think he can be that like Justin Holiday type guy that we always wanted, that a team could always want to have. He's very active on defense, shoot three, athletic. He's a pretty good player. He's only like 22, 23 years old. Other guys, Isaiah Jackson, Terry Taylor, they got shut down pretty early in the summer league, but I really like what I saw. Jackson and Taylor look amazing, rebounding, scoring, athleticism, all that. But that's enough about summer league. What should we talk about next, Dom?
We do have Chris here for a specific reason.
Yes, sir.
Chris, the Knicks fan, you want to talk a little bit about what's been going on around the Utah Jazz?
Yep. All right. So, as you know, the Utah Jazz are potentially looking to retool around Donovan Mitchell or just completely break it all down and rebuild completely. And there have been talks around sending Donovan Mitchell to the Knicks for what seemingly should be like a historic haul of draft picks, young players, vets, who knows. There's multiple sources out there saying a lot of things, Shams saying one thing, Wallace saying another, Mark Stein coming out of somewhere and being like, oh yeah, Utah likes Quentin Grimes, right? And it's really hard to follow. You really can't get a...
Did they talk about McBride too? Did they like McBride?
No, it's just Grimes that we really know that, okay, yeah, this is who Utah is. Like, if they can't get RJ, that's probably what they're going to try and get from the Knicks.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of RJ, the Knicks, even speaking of RJ, right, there's been reports that, hey, yeah, even Utah's a little hesitant on him because he still has to sign an extension, and it's like, hey, are you going to pay RJ the max?
I'm not trading RJ.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's been reports that the Knicks are like he's completely out of talks. As that's the great move. That's the right move. And I think that the Knicks are playing it right, taking it slow because I don't think Utah can go into the regular season or at least training camp with this news surrounding Donovan Mitchell. It's just gonna mess up the entire locker room.
It's very distracting.
Right. So I think a deal will be broken at least before training camp, and that ultimately at the end, Donovan Mitchell will be a New York Knick.
Hey, man. I'd like to see it, but if he's a Knick, I need them to get rid of Randall because Randall doesn't fit that at all.
Oh, and speaking of that there's the second part of this, right? There was a report earlier, I think, today, and Dom knows what I'm talking about. So I think it was Shine again that came out with the report that if the Donovan trade does happen, the Knicks could look to trade for Russell Westbrook.
Oh, yeah.
Which would require probably Julius Randle's salary. So it'd be Randle for Russ and whatever swap, right? And I wasn't at first. I was like, this is literally just Knicks for click. Like, why would they do this? You have Brunson, you have Donovan Mitchell, you have RJ. You do not need Russell Westbrook. But then, like, right? It's like, oh wow, they're gonna run a 3-guard lineup. Like, what? Come on, right? And Russ. There were reports saying Russ isn't gonna take a 6-man role, and I mean Brunson. It'd be funny if Brunson
you ain't gonna pay him $26 million to come off the bench.
Right. But then I let it marinate, and I was like, wait, okay, so we could probably get a draft pick from this trade.
Buy Russ out?
Huh?
Buy Russ out? Buy him out?
You could probably get a draft pick from this trade. Russ is on an expiring contract, and you're gonna get hella cap afterward.
So stupid.
And you get to get rid of Julius Randle. I'm all in.
I mean,
right?
All I'm gonna say is gonna be really funny is if the Lakers give up Russell Westbrook and get Julius Randle in return, I will be laughing.
But then again, this report's like, I think a big part.
Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
I was gonna say a big part of this report is, I think someone said, but it's like this is like a backup option if they can't get Kyrie from the Nets,
which is not happening.
Yeah, which seems like it's really not happening at this point.
Yeah, dig the nail in the coffin. Go ahead.
So I think, and we clearly know that Russ is absolutely just tanking his value.
Yeah, without a doubt, because without a doubt.
Right. I mean, even the Lakers are trying to salvage it with that report. Like, oh yeah, LeBron, AD, they're all buddy.
Yeah, him, Bron, and AD, they're cool.
Yeah, they're gonna figure it out. Like, come on, no one's buying that, man.
I mean, whenever
we know.
I mean, whenever you say whenever the best thing that you can say is they're gonna figure it out, and I'm making air quotes right now, they're gonna figure it out. That's a bad sign.
Right. Like, so so right, you have this fake, oh, they're gonna figure it out scenario. While it like Russ is basically like demanding a trade, but not demanding a trade.
Out of here, exactly.
So I think that'd be a great idea, and assuming that he does get traded to the Knicks, I'd assume we'd buy him out. I don't know where he'd go. Right?
Yeah. And matter of fact, that's what I want to get into now, because Russell Westbrook, I mean, where the fuck is he gonna play?
I was legit trying to think about this, right? Because like after a buyout,
I actually don't think there's a single team that would start him at their one.
The only team I can think of is the Wizards. That's it.
I was thinking the Bulls, right?
They just drafted a point guard and signed 2 point guards.
Exactly. So that doesn't make any sense. And the Bulls, I mean, Lonzo though.
But here,
Lonzo, yeah, it doesn't make sense for
Lonzo's true,
especially
but
Rosen makes no sense.
Oh yeah, that's a deadbeat. Oh my god, that's nasty spacing.
Yeah, that is terrible space. You're talking about Russ and then DeMar, Lonzo. Yeah, nah. And then you.
And since we were all talking about Donovan Mitchell, it's not like the Knicks are alone in the Donovan Mitchell sweepstakes. We still got the Raptors too, and with the KD deal,
The Raptors,
yeah. I mean, I wish.
I'm sure the Raptors.
I wish we had a Raptors fan to talk about it, but you're gonna have to do. Go ahead, Drew.
Right, man. Yeah, we could throw a bunch of different packages. We could throw any of Fred VanVleet, Gary Trent Jr.
Fred VanVleet, yeah, no, shut it down. No.
First name you mentioned is Fred VanVleet.
Fred VanVleet is not good.
We could throw Mr. 73 points Malachi Flynn. We could throw Justin Champagne. We could throw some picks.
He's not even real.
I just found out who Justin Champagne was a week ago.
Yo, the NPC talk is back, fellas.
Yeah.
Hey, we could even throw Precious Achua. We could get Donovan Mitchell, and we have
gonna trade Precious Achua.
I'm
gonna trade better than Bam Adebayo, Precious Achua.
Precious Achua was nice. He was really nice post All-Star break, shooting some threes, taking some pull-ups.
Shout out to Precious. Precious has been balling.
Absolutely, shout out to Precious. He balled out.
Recently,
he's been amazing.
And
I expected it. I completely expected it.
And something the Knicks don't have. Some of the Knicks don't have.
Hold on, Chris, you expected it?
Oh yeah, absolutely, dude. As soon as the rumors came out of Kyle Lowry's gonna get signed and traded for Precious, I was like, yeah, no, right? The Raptors are they're gonna do their lab shit, and he's gonna turn into fucking Kevin Durant or some shit, dude.
Hey, while we're at it, you remember that one tweet that was like Masai Ujiri meeting Precious Achua for the first time?
Oh my god! No, that's when I really knew it. I was like, okay, yeah, he's gonna be good. He's gonna be good with this team.
Yeah. I love Precious Achua. I'm glad he's doing great. But continue.
Something the Knicks don't have that the Raptors do is they have a very solid defensive infrastructure. They got one of the best defensive coaches in the league who isn't out of his mind on the other side of the ball, Mr. Tom Thibodeau.
Yeah, hey, are you sure you want to go there?
I mean,
yes, I do. And we also have one of the best coaches, Nick Nurse.
Brother, I want to put this, right? We've been top 12 in the past 2 years, right? And we had a Kemba and Evan Fournier backcourt.
Yeah. I said no out of his mind on the other side of the ball. That's what I said.
Okay.
That's what I said. I said defensively, Tom Thibodeau is up there with the best. But offensively, he's on the other side of the ball. He's out of his mind. Nick Nurse is
exactly the problems he had coaching the Bulls. That's the same problems he had coaching the Bulls.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, he's good on defense, but he can't coach an offense to save his fucking life.
And how is he at managing minutes now? Because I've heard the memes.
It's still horrible. I mean, oh my god, I don't even want to. Okay, so right, you get Julius Randle giving shit effort for the entire season for 34 minutes, and Obi Toppin can't even scrap 10 minutes a game.
Yeah,
till the final 5 games of the season.
They need to give Obi minutes. And what the fuck is Derrick Rose doing there?
I'm praying to God that the Milwaukee Bucks take him or something, dude.
Somebody needs to
Suns.
take Derrick Rose. I don't want him on the Knicks.
Yeah, you can take. Yeah, the Suns can have them.
Lakers.
Yeah, go ahead.
You want to the Lakers? Yeah, go ahead.
With your fucking, I know as soon as he gets signed with the Lakers, somebody's gonna make a fucking graphic with him in a Lakers jersey and be the most hated.
No, but seriously, it's either Fournier or Rose that's gonna get sent to Utah. I'm praying that it's D Rose.
I think it's gonna be Fournier.
It probably will be Fournier, and then it'll get rerouted to
What happened to Kemba?
He got waived
to the Pistons. Yeah, he got traded to the Pistons with Durant.
But they're gonna buy him out though, aren't they?
Yeah, they bought him out.
They already bought him out.
So yeah, he's just sitting. Oh my god, Kemba's a free agent. That's so weird.
That is, man. That is when he got.
Nobody wants Kemba Walker.
Thing with the Raptors again is that we still. I know I've been said this about 3 times already, but we actually have a proper defensive infrastructure. It's not just rely on Tom Thibodeau and rim protecting center number 1, aka Mitchell Robinson. We actually have elite defensive infrastructure with every single player on the roster can play some defense, and I think Donovan Mitchell would be able to buy into his defense in a culture like that. And we also wouldn't have some half-court problems limiting on offense. Like the Knicks in the non-Jalen Brunson lineups, Donovan Mitchell would be absolutely backpacking the offense. With the Raptors, you have
Scottie Barnes. RJ Barrett, hold on. This is some crazy row one erasure.
I love me some RJ. I love me some RJ, but I need to see some progression for me to say that RJ can be a legitimate second option.
I think we're gonna see that this year. I think we're gonna see that.
It's absolutely understandable. I agree with that.
But since it's yet to happen, I can say that I would prefer both Pascal Siakam and Scottie Barnes as a creator, as second creator, compared to RJ Barrett at this very moment. Next season, RJ can be better next season, better season after, but at this very moment, I would prefer both Scottie and Pascal as playing off of Donovan or just being a second creator and taking some pressure off of Donovan.
Right. Well, speaking of a guy you mentioned, Mitchell Robinson, I want to give a congratulations to Mitchell Robinson for being the first rookie, the first round pick in Knicks history.
Oh yeah.
23 years.
No, he was a second rounder, but yeah, Mitch is the first Knick to get a second contract from the Knicks in
23 years.
So many years.
When Charlie Ward was selected in 1994 and extended in 1999.
So congrats to he broke that curse.
Yeah, shout out to Mitchell Robinson. All right, what we got next? What's next on the agenda?
What's next on the agenda? I mean, we talked about, we can talk about the Nets. The Nets are seemingly looking like they're going to run it back.
Speaking of the Nets,
with the roster.
Oh yeah, we can talk about T.J. Warren signing.
We have to do that.
Yeah.
Now, you got to head.
Pacers. Hey, okay, I got it, Cam. Okay. Pacers. After trading, T.J. Warren for cash considerations like forever years ago. And T.J. Warren seemingly disappearing for 2 years, he decided to sign with the New York Knicks, who were in the middle of trying to. Or sorry, New York. Or sorry,
the Brooklyn Nets.
The Brooklyn Nets. Whatever. He decided to sign with the Brooklyn Nets in the middle of them literally trying to get out the roster. For I think it's 2 years. Is it 2 years, 10 million, or like 1 year, 10 million?
Veterans minimum.
Yeah, whatever. Maybe he didn't want to come back. Maybe we didn't want to bring him back. I would have loved him back. Kind of sucks that he's not back on the team, but it's also whatever. We're rebuilding. So.
Yeah, I mean that's my guy, TJ. In the bubble in 2020, he was the only reason I watched that team. And even though we got killed in the playoffs, I still love T.J. Warren. I have his jersey still hanging on the wall, hanging on my wall at my house. I'm gonna hang it up higher. I'm gonna retire that jersey now. But yeah, I hope T.J. Warren does great, man. I know he still has that scoring ability in him. He can definitely be 6-man starting, maybe even start. He can definitely give you 15, maybe 17 points a game at his best. Shoot good from three, decent defender. He's a great role player and a great even a great second scoring option. He led us in scoring when we made the playoffs in 2020.
Cammy, something I thought was interesting in that signing is him and his agent decided that they'd like TJ to be called a guard. So,
oh really?
He plays more like a guard. He plays more like a guard.
Yeah. They officially wanted to call him a guard. They didn't want to call him a forward, which he was always listed as his whole career. Even though I agree he plays a little more like a wing guard, they wanted to list him as a guard, even though he's forward sized. So I think he'll likely come off the bench and be a bench creator.
I think that's a 6-man of the year candidate next year. I think it is.
Great, that's a great 6-man of the year candidate. I agree.
I think it is. All right, done with Mitchell Robinson. One last topic, or I don't know about last, but another topic I want to bring up is Maz Turner. Man, this guy's been through hell and back for years on years on years. And I don't know where his mind is at right now. I don't know what he thinks of the organization. But I wouldn't blame him if he wants to kill everybody in the Pacers organization. I would not blame him at all. Because he's
been put in trade block since 2017.
He's been in trade rumors since the fucking Obama administration. He's always been more of a scapegoat around Pacers fans because he hasn't really developed his offensive game that much. He's defensively still elite, still amazing, but offensively he's kind of stagnated. And people are like, oh, that's because Sabonis is starting and he was limiting his touches. That's because this, that's because that. That's because Nate McMillan was playing him as a spot-up guy. He can't create for himself. He can't drive to the basket.
People is you. People is you. People is you. I said people is you.
Yeah, people, yeah. Alright. Anyways, what the fuck was I talking about? Right. People have been, giving him all types of shit. Saying, wait till next year. And of course, this recent stuff came out with DeAndre Ayton and Indiana trying to load Maz Turner off to Phoenix, and Isaiah Jackson's emergence, Jalen Smith starting at power forward. Maz Turner's future with the Pacers is looking weirder, is looking more and more bleak by the day. So, I don't know what happens with this guy, but I still love him. I'm going to support him no matter where he goes. I wouldn't blame him if he wants to kill everybody there, because if I was him, I would want to kill everybody there too, because y'all throwing me under the bus. Y'all been throwing me under the bus for, 3-4 years now? Like, it's about time that I leave. But yeah, I love Miles. He follows me on Twitter. Great dude. Very good player. I think if he does get traded to somewhere where he is the lone center, I think he's going to break out, and I think he's going to show people what he's about. I think he's going to show people that, yeah, I can average maybe 16, 15 points a game. I can average, keeping that 2 blocks a game, improve my defense, improve my offense, self-creation skills. But I think Miles has a lot more to offer to any team that wants him, whether it be the Pacers, whether it be whatever other team. I need to get your thoughts on this, though. Dom, you're the other Pacers fan. Please say something.
My thoughts on Maz Turner. I don't know about him burning down the the front office, but I would get the sentiment. He's been on the block for a little bit, rightfully so. Some people, they like to talk about, the idea of Maz Turner versus the reality of him. I still genuinely think I would love to see him back on the roster, just to start the year, up his value a little, then get traded at the deadline. Finally, after 5 years, finally get dealt. But if he doesn't, either way, Miles has been, staple of Indiana for a long ass time, and he deserves any and everything he gets. So.
Exactly, man. I hope the best for Maz Turner. Wherever he lands, I think he's gonna kill it. I'm gonna ask the two guests here because I haven't gotten their opinion on this, and we haven't really talked that much about this off camera either. I'm gonna start with Chris. Go ahead. What you think?
About Maz Turner?
Yep.
I agree with your sentiments. Yeah, he's been on the block for a while, and it's like, am I gonna get dealt? I'm pretty sure. I think he'd be fine with sticking around. I do remember reports saying he's ecstatic to play with Tyrese. I think that worked very well a pick and roll between Reese and Miles, but I think the Pacers going forward would be better off dealing him, and it's opening up that starting center spot for Isaiah Jackson, who's perceived to be the future, potentially, unless Victor Wembanyama comes around, then rip.
Yeah.
But I think if they do roll into the season with Maz Turner, it's not a bad thing. You can build his value up, ship him off at the deadline. You can continue to keep him. But, there's a multitude of things they can do with him. And I don't know if he, again, I don't know if he does burn down the front office, but I'd understand the frustration that he'd have with it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm assuming Drew feels the same. I don't know. I'll let you talk.
I think it's time for Miles to go, even though Dave said it's been time for Miles to go for about 25 years now.
Yeah.
It's inevitable.
I think it is actually time for Miles to go. the team is just so young, and they have so many people to develop. And I think if they did keep him around, again, it wouldn't be that bad because one, he could be a mentor because they don't really have a true.
Yeah, they don't have that true better guy.
They don't have a true and traditional rim protector outside of Miles, and I think he can help Isaiah Jackson, Jalen Smith, and whoever else they have as prospects.
He could even help Goga if Goga stays on the team.
Oh.
Yeah, so he can help them develop a little more in their rim protection area, and even if they get him and get decent value for him, go for it. If they can't, it wouldn't hurt to keep him around.
Yeah,
he would definitely up their defense and their defensive intensity, their defense. Although I do think he is a bit of a flawed player because there's some traits that he's somewhat modern at, and some traits that he's completely devoid of that would make him a complete big man. But I do think that he is quite a solid and good contributor, and in the right situation, he can definitely be a very good starter, a very nice starting center.
Without a doubt. I've said this before. I think we keep Miles until the deadline, let him play with Tyrese, let him get his value up, and then ship him off. Him and Buddy Hield, both of them are going to be gone by the deadline.
Buddy Hield needs to go too.
Buddy's just here to mentor Neesmith. Buddy's going to mentor Neesmith. He's going to teach him how to shoot again, and after that, Buddy can go play for a contender or wherever. But I think Miles and Buddy are going to be gone soon. When Miles leaves, it's going to be a very very tough pill to swallow because he's been a staple of Indiana since Paul George is here. You know, he's been here before Paul George left. He was with us with the Oladipo season, the amazing Oladipo season, with the injury season, dunking on Hayward, you know, the Celtics rumors, all that stuff, the Lakers rumors, everything. He's been with us through like, it's been like 6-7 years now. It's going to be hard seeing him in another uniform, but I love the guy. I'm definitely going to, you know, have some sort of tribute post to him, you know, talking about his best moments as a Pacer or something. But, hey, to the big fella, I hope he does great wherever he lands. Speaking of which, let's talk about...
Yeah, I was going to say...
Was that?
Oh, wait, no. What were we going to say?
Let's talk about ideal destinations for him and Buddy Hield. Where you think?
Oh, yeah, that's literally what I was thinking. Like, what teams would potentially, like, trade for Isaiah? I mean, not Isaiah. Maz Turner and or Buddy Hield.
Yeah.
Buddy could go anywhere. I don't think there's that wouldn't really fit.
First of all, I'm gonna ignore the Lakers because I'm not even entertaining that option. I'm gonna completely
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not gonna entertain people who are like, hey, you could get Russell Westbrook in the 2027, 2029 first round.
No.
Yeah, no.
And THD, yeah, no.
THD.
No, that deal.
Did you see the Drew League?
Yeah, he's a role player in the Drew League too. He's a role player in the Drew League too. But one team that I'm thinking of is Charlotte, and I think Charlotte has been a preferred ideal destination for Miles for a while. They don't have a rim protector.
Absolutely.
They're starting Mason Plumlee. They had Cody Zeller before that. I think Charlotte would be great for Miles, and maybe we get somebody like P.J. Washington, Mark Williams, maybe even a first-round pick or something. I think he would be great in Charlotte, you know, alongside LaMelo, pick and pop, you know, going down with Miles Bridges is going to be there. But either way. Yeah, I just realized Miles Bridges is.
Yeah.
Reasons. But yeah, same with LaMelo and the pick and pop, Boot Knight, you know, getting those guys open, setting screens. You know, they need rim protection. They suck ass at defense. And
he'd be the rim protector they finally have.
Yeah, he'd be a great replacement over Harrell. You know, Harrell's over there. He's only 6'8", 6'7". He's only there as like an energy guy, catch lobs, score inside, get rebounds. Miles is going to be there, block shots, you know, hit threes. He's I think he's a great center for LaMelo. Great compliment.
I think even offensively, he's a great fit next to LaMelo because him just drifting out to the perimeter instead of rolling hard like Harold does will actually force LaMelo to like get towards the rim, and like that's something that's been pivotal in like stopping him from being a legitimate guy who can lead a team and fall into the playoffs.
Yeah,
because it just doesn't get to the play.
I mean, talking about Miles spotting up, teams are going to respect his jump shot. people are like, he's not that great of a shooter. He's not that great of a shooter. But when he's open from 3, you have to guard him because he's gonna make it if you don't guard him.
I'm not even talking about that. That he just gives LaMelo space to get to the rim.
Exactly.
Because I do think that while teams are very hesitant to respect Miles' jump shot, him just drifting out to the perimeter
Him being there
and just
and
giving
then
LaMelo
acknowledging him is enough.
exactly.
That split second of hesitation is enough.
That's all you need. That's all you need. LaMelo to get an open layup, open dunk, lob to a roller, passing it out to Miles. Miles can shoot, whatever. So I think Charlotte would be the best destination. Do you guys have any other team?
I was thinking maybe Golden State.
Of course.
They can always.
They don't have the money.
They don't have the money.
But yeah, they're hella over the cap. That's true.
My only other destination I think is even possible, salary wise and would fit, is Brooklyn. But they're just too much of a mess now for me to even think of that.
Yeah, I think Brooklyn's dealing with its own stuff. Yeah. I mean,
Besides that.
Yeah, I mean, besides.
Buddy, I think any team could go for Buddy.
Yeah, Buddy legit
Hield, Buddy Hield is a team that I can see any team going for. Contenders, a rebuilding, whatever. I mean, personally, I want to see him in where y'all want to see him?
Phoenix.
The Knicks. You want to see him in the Knicks?
Nah.
I want to see him in Phoenix or Toronto.
Okay.
I'd love to see him with the Mavs next to Luka.
Next to Luka, that's exactly what I was thinking of. That him would.
That's been a trade offer in my head for a while, and that's been very scary. I'm pretty sure I said that early on in this pacing forward thing. I think it was like a Dinwiddie and Bertans for Buddy Hield type thing, and that type of offer being on the table is very scary to me.
I mean, imagine
don't like it at all.
Imagine the spacing if you have Luka, Buddy Hield, Bertans, and C. Wood on the court at the same time.
My God.
The defense is shit, but that shooting, that
Listen,
offense,
who needs defense at that point?
Yeah, you don't need defense because you got 4 guys that can. Okay, Luka.
That's legit best offense in the NBA potential.
That would be contending for best offense in the NBA. Luka, you can't leave him open for 3
Being able to
because he'll
offer
hit.
two of their bigger, more useless contracts as well in Davis Bertans and Dwight Powell, and just throwing in like a little pick for that is like incredible.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, he could fit anywhere.
Luka, Buddy, Dorian Finney-Smith.
Smith, forgot about
who plays the 4 at that point?
Moxie.
They play Tim Hardaway Jr. at the 3 when he's healthy.
Moxie, Tim Hardaway Jr. And then what's his name? Wood at center.
God, what a lineup!
That's an amazing
plus
lineup.
Jason Kidd coaching that team too.
Yeah, he knows exactly how to get the best out of Luka. I think Jason Kidd and Buddy Hield would be a great combination. That's amazing. That's a great combination. That's a great combo that they could potentially do, and it's realistic. It's realistic as well. It's not like something that you just pull out of your ass and say, "Oh, this could happen."
This maybe right.
It's very possible. It's very possible. But I think that's all for Miles and Hield talk. Is there anything else we should talk about, or what else?
LeBron in the G League, Malachi Fleury up in 7.
LeBron and DeMar in the Drew League.
LeBron and DeMar the Drew League. I love the Drew League, man. You saw that shit that came out where it's like one guy guarding LeBron had like a bunch of tweets hating on him from like 2010, 2013.
That was crazy. I seen that as well.
Chris, you seen that? It's like this dude was like hating on LeBron, like calling him a bitch and stuff from 2011, 2013, and then they was the same guy guarding LeBron in the Drew League.
No way!
He cooked his ass. That was so. So awesome. And we talking about guys like DeMar the Drew League.
That's so awesome, dude.
Kyrie's supposed to play, man. This is great for basketball. We might have a lockout next offseason, but who cares? And matter of fact, we will have a lockout next season. Who the fuck am I kidding?
Speaking of like saying that's awesome for basketball, I remember the worldwide Rob tweet where it's like, I think it was something about the in-season tournament. Like this is how you want to do it. I kind of agreed with it because it's like you want to make this memorable for the fans.
Yeah, man.
and have something for the players, right?
Without a doubt, man. I can't wait. I can't wait to have basketball back. You know, I've enjoyed this offseason. This has been my favorite offseason by far as a Pacers fan. You know, new team, new players. Everybody's different. Next year, we're most definitely going to have a lockout because that's CBA. But, you know what?
It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, enjoy this upcoming season. Enjoy what we're going to see in the future. And besides that, we ain't got nothing to talk about. I'm gonna let my co-host do the out. Actually, no. Before we do that, Jew, anything you want to promote?
I mean, you can check out my website, nailedefense.ca.
Nailedefense.ca.
With a C, defense with a C.
I'll put that on.
Oh my God, you Canadian!
I'll put that on the I'll put that in the description. I didn't know you had a website. This is the first time I'm hearing about it. Chris, anything?
I also want to promote that Malachi Flynn dropped 73 points.
Yeah, 73 points.
Oh yeah, Malachi dropped 73 points somewhere.
Chris, anything you want to promote?
Yes, come on, you know, Pacing Forward podcast.
Yeah, that's right. Show love.
Make sure you tune into the next episode.
Yes, sir.
You have your notifications on.
Yes, sir.
For
And matter of fact,
Spotify,
next episode,
literally anywhere, right?
Hey, before we get to it, next episode has someone you might recognize, someone you guys might be familiar with, and if you're a Pacers fan, you probably know who this guy is. So stay tuned for that whenever that's coming. But besides that, I'm gonna let my comrade do the outro.
If he's even alive.
This was the Pacing Forward podcast. I hope you guys had a really good time. Hopefully we can get this out to you guys by, today's Monday. We'll probably get it to you by Tuesday if my co-host does his job right. And make sure you keep your eyes open for our guest next week. Week after that, we'll see NBA season coming up. NFL season coming up, baseball season still going, you know. Hope all your favorite teams keep pushing, you know, and never give up. Have a nice week, and we'll see you guys.
Yeah, see you guys, man. Y'all take care.